All right, we are Masechet Niddah, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Zayin. 7th Mishnah, the first chapter, Masechet Niddah. So it says the Mishnah, we're talking about a woman, the Mishnah is going to talk about a woman that has to examine herself, perform self-examinations. Afapisha amru daya sha'ata. Even though the rabbi said daya sha'ata, vis-a-vis her examinations, meaning these women, these 4 women, okay, or isha sheisha veset, a veset kavua, and it seems clear in the time of the Mishnah that most women had a veset kavua. So therefore, she didn't have to worry about the taharot that she was dealing with until her veset kavua, until the time when she expected her period. Even though they said that, tzricha liot bodeket. Okay, she has to examine herself, perform an examination, meaning she's doing taharot, she still has to examine herself. Even though daya sha'ata, says the Bartanur, b'chol yom shachrit va'arvi kishar nashim. Every day, chutz min niddah, vayoshevet al dam Torah. Except for a woman who's in niddah. Once a woman becomes a niddah, remember, midin Torah, once a woman becomes, according to the Torah, once a woman becomes niddah, she's niddah for 7 days, and there's no point in checking if she's tame'ah for 7 days. So if she's niddah, then she doesn't check. Vayoshevet al dam tohar. Or a woman, let's say for example, who had a child, so there's a period of time, whether it's a boy or a girl, when her dam is dam tohar, it's pure blood, it's not mitameh, so why check? She's bleeding, she had a baby, but she's still tahara. So she has to, nonetheless, even though daya shata, she had to check all the time, every morning and every evening, to make sure she didn't see any blood. Umeshameshet bi'idim, all right, and she checks bi'idim. Idim, remember, an examination clause, meaning when, so the Kahati says, okay, says it based on the Bartanura, af al pi sheish la veset. Remember, she has a veset. When is she doing this? Tzricha livdok lifnei tashmish ula'achar tashmish. Since she has to check herself, since she has to examine herself since she's pure for taharot, okay, she has to check herself before marital relations and afterwards to make sure she didn't have menstruation and have intimate relations with her husband when she's in niddah. But the Bartanura says this is only when she's engaged in tarot. Tarot means, in the times of the Beit HaMikdash, things are tarot hakodesh. They were trying to eat food. The tarot. Since she has to examine herself for tarot, so therefore she also has to be tahora for her husband. But a woman who is not engaged in maintaining purity in the household for everything that she eats, for the coffee that she drinks, then she also doesn't require bedika for her husband. Women today do not do bedikot before relations with their husband. Once they're tahara, then we actually say don't do any extra unnecessary bedikot. But in their times, when they were checking for everything else, then when she's also having relations with her husband, she has to check herself bi'idim, okay, with examination called chutz miyoshevet al dam tohar. Okay, except for someone who's yoshevet al dam Torah, a woman who, remember we said she gave birth, but now she's tahara, she's pure for a number of days. Okay, it's a lot for many days. It's in the beginning. It's in Vayikra. Ubitulash de me'atori, and also a virgin whose blood is tahara. She shouldn't examine. Remember, it was just virginal blood when she has relations for the first time for a number of days. It's a machloket how many days she's tahara. Why check? She has to check normally twice. B'shachrit ubein hashmashot. Okay, either both in shachrit in the morning and the evening, and meaning the shachrit and bein hashmashot is normally because remember she's doing taharot. She always has to check herself because maybe she touched food, maybe and if she finds that there's blood, then she has to know back when the last time she cooked dinner or ate a meal. And when she is preparing, overet here means preparing, l'shameshet beita, to service her house means to have relations with her husband. And yiteira alem kohanot, the kohanot word even more stringent, the women would examine themselves even before they would eat truma, even if she checked in the morning. And nonetheless, they were even more extra, that's not even English, extra careful. Rabbi Yehuda says, even when they finished eating truma, why? Because then if they would see nidot later on, they would know that the meal that they had before wasn't tameh. But we don't paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to remembering my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.